Good morning, everyone. I'm Dr. Gakasan, and I'll be discussing with you immunohematology. This is actually refers to serologic, genetic, biochemical, and molecular study of antigens associated with membrane structure on cellular elements of the blood. No? So what are the cellular elements of the blood? We have the red blood cells, we have the white blood cells. We also have platelets on it. No, this branch of medicine, it actually studies the immunologic reactions of all components of the blood. Okay, it deals with antigens, antibodies, and the reaction or interaction between antigens and antibodies. So what are the different applications of immunohematology? First and foremost, this one is quite important, in transfusion medicine. So this is applied in transfusion of blood as well as its different components, as we can see later. It is also needed in the diagnosis, in the prevention, as well as management of immunization associated with pregnancy. We'll be talking about hemolytic disease of the newborn later, ABO and RH blood group system. It is also needed in organ transplantation, leukocyte testing for organ transplantation. And lastly, it is used to resolve parentage problem. Nowadays, we have the DNA analysis as a main test to determine whether a man or a woman is the parent of a certain child, no? But we cannot do away with blood typing as well. We are still using ABO blood typing as an adjunct to the resolution of parentage problem, as we know that ABO blood group, RH blood group are in the different blood groups are being inherited, from parents to the children. Okay, so with regards to the blood group systems, we have a lot of them, but there are two major blood groups that we always determine in the laboratory. We have the ABO blood group system as well as the RH blood group. Minor blood groups, there are times that we determine the presence of this or because there are times that we encounter transfusion reaction despite that the blood that we give are ABO and RH specific. The blood that we transfuse to patients are type ABO and RH specific. And sometimes we get a positive cross match, basically because of the presence of these different minor blood groups that we also differ from each other. Okay, a little bit of historical background. In 1665, they did animal-to-animal transfusion. There is success in certain aspect in this particular procedure that they did. So after 2 years, they were bold enough to do animal to human transfusion. The first transfusion turned out to be just okay. And then after the second and the succeeding transfusion that were done during that time, it led to the death of patients. So they aborted the use of this one. However, in 1818, another bolder group of scientists did human to human blood transfusion. Of course, as we all know, this might have led to successful transfusion, but a lot of times it was a failure. So in 1900, this is the time that the ABO blood group system was discovered, the start of discovery of the ABO blood group system. So we'll talk about the ABO blood group system first. The discovery of this blood group system came out because of research question in the mind of Dr. Karl Landsteiner. He thought, how come that certain patients died as a result of blood transfusion and the others did not die, no, because of that. So that was now the start of the discovery of the ABO blood group. So they were able to discover the different components that are causing the reaction or non-reaction when it comes to blood transfusion with ABO blood groups. ABO blood group system is said to be the single most important blood group for the selection and transfusion of blood. It is also a major consideration in solid organ as well as bone marrow transplantation. No? Why? Because they are widely expressed, not just in the blood, but they are also expressed in tissues and in body fluids. Okay, let's look at the ABO genetics. Okay, so on your left, the left most column, what we get to see is the phenotype. Phenotype, the observable thing that we see, no? Like for me, I'm type B. I know I'm type B. This is the phenotype. No, that's what we see when we do laboratory examinations. There are type A individuals, type B individuals like me, type AB individuals like others, and we also have type O individuals. On the second column is the genotype, what's in there, no, underneath, no. For type A individuals, it can either be AA, AO, depending on the genotype of the parents. As I mentioned, this has been inherited. So um, there are two genotypes that we can encounter in blood type A individuals. For type B, like me, BB or BO. Okay. My father was blood type O. My mother is blood type B. So what would be my genotype? Okay. If you can see, the genotype of my father is OO, no? And my mother is blood type B. So I don't know whether she has BB or BO, depending on her parents, no? Knowing that my father is blood type O and I'm blood type B, no? I got one from half of it from my mother, no? So I have one B, okay? And supposedly, if he was really my father, no? I'm supposed to have a BO because I will only get half of it from my father. So I would expect that my genotype would be BO. If my genotype is BB, then maybe no, you would conclude that my father was not my father because I have a different genotype. No? So knowing that, you'll be able to see what type, or you'll be able to conclude what genotype an individual has. No, type AB individuals, they have AB genotype, and O, as I mentioned, OO only. Looking at this column, this is the column of antigen. No, notice that all the ABO blood groups, they have HHH antigen. Okay, so the usual ABO blood groups, we have the H antigen. Okay, for type A individuals, they have A antigen. The antigens are found on the surface of the red blood cells. Antibodies are found in the plasma or serum of individuals. Okay. For type A individuals, they have A antigen. For us type B, we have B antigens. And for type AB individuals, they have both A and B. And for type O, they don't have. Neither A nor B is present on the red blood cells of type O individuals. Okay, with regards to antibodies, okay, I want you to remember that with regards to ABO blood grouping, no, an individual has the antibody to ABO blood group, no, with the missing antigen. Okay, so if an individual does not have a certain antigen, he or she has the antibody against that missing antigen. That is true for ABO blood grouping, no? So for type A individual, they don't have B antigen. what you will see in the serum or plasma are anti-Bs, no? Antibody to B antigen. For type B individuals like us, no, we don't have A antigen. So what is seen in the serum or plasma of B individuals are anti-As. And for type AB individuals, there's no antigens against H, A, or B. No? For type O individuals, since they do not have A nor B antigen, you would expect to see anti-A and anti-B in their plasma or serum. Okay. Talking about A and B antigens, it's like a box of donuts, no? So for type A individuals, they have this candy sprinkles on top of the donut, no? These are the A antigens, no? Attached on the red cell surface. And B for type B individuals, B sprinkles, candy sprinkles, or B antigen. And for type AB individuals, they have both A and B antigens. For type O individuals, ito yung parang no sprinkles, candy sprinkles on top, no? Like the ones that the usual donuts that do not have, no, the classic donuts that do not have anything on top. So just like type O individuals, no? So putting it in a more colorful way, we have here a chart showing us the antigens sticking out on the red cell surface, and we have the antibodies, no, that are found in the plasma or serum of patients. No? So reiterating further, we have A antigens on type A individuals. These are the genotypes, as you can see there. They have anti-B because they don't have B antigens. For type B, they have anti-A because the only thing that they have, aside from H antigen, are the B antigens. And for type AB, they don't have anti-A nor anti-B because they have both A and B antigens. For type O, wala. Kaya meron silang anti-A and anti-B. Let's talk about ABO blood group antibodies. These are said to be the most important antibodies in transfusion medicine. No? They are generally naturally occurring. What do we mean by that? You do not know what has caused the production of this, what has caused the development of most of these ABO blood group antibodies. No? They are weak or absent in the sera of newborns until the 3rd to 6 months of age. And the adult levels is reached at this particular age, 5 to 10 years of age. No? So take note of that because you can have problems with regards to blood typing during this age group. No, you might have a different forward typing and reverse typing. As you have studied in the first year in physiology, I know you talk about ABO blood typing, no, which utilizes forward typing and reverse typing. There might be difference between the two in this age group. Okay. ABO blood group antibodies are said to be naturally occurring, as I've mentioned, and mostly are IgM. No, these are pentamers. No, IgM are pentamers. There is absence of stimulation by either transfusion or pregnancy. It is detected at room temperature, so we utilize this in the laboratory. So if you do blood typing, for example, at room temperature, you'll be able to recognize a reaction, no, showing us the presence of IgM. However, in certain times na parang equivocal, no, hindi mo alam negative ba, positive, pero parang merong agglutination process, no. The optimal reactivity is at 4 degrees centigrade. So you lower down the setup of the test, lower down the temperature of the setup of the test, and you'll be able to demonstrate the presence of IgM. Okay, located inside this box is an important information. No, it says here most anti-A and anti-B are IgM, just like this one, because most are IgM. However, In type O individuals, in addition, they have IgG, anti-A, and anti-B. So what's the significance of that? We will be able to review later on, or see later on, that this is significant because IgG, if you will remember, I know that you remember that it can cross the placenta. Okay, so it can cause hemolytic disease of the newborn. Later on, we'll see that in type O mothers, type O individuals, they have that. Okay. So IgG antibodies, on the other hand, are said to be reactive at 37 degrees centigrade. Okay, it follows immune stimulation by transfusion or pregnancy if an individual has been exposed to or to a different blood type, or during transfusion or during pregnancy, that a certain individual, of course, no, if you're pregnant, it doesn't necessarily mean that you have the same blood type as the baby. So that's going to be the stimulation process. You develop IgG antibodies, when you are transfused with blood, or you get pregnant for females, with a patient or a child with a different ABO blood group. This can cause hemolytic disease of the newborn and acute rejection of transplanted organ. This particular antibodies, as we have mentioned, it can cross the placenta. So it is associated with hemolytic disease of the newborn. We have other ABO blood group considered to be null phenotypes. We have classic Bombay and para Bombay. Okay, classic Bombay patients are phenotypically type O. They don't have A nor B antigen, and at the same time, sabi natin kasi yung mga usual ABO blood group, we have the H antigens as well. But for this particular type of people, they lack H antigens on the red cell surface. So sabi natin, for ABO blood grouping, if you lack the antigen, you have the antibody against it. So you would expect this classic Bombay patients who are type O, they have anti-A, anti-B, and anti-A in their sera, basically because of the lack of this particular gene, okay, the SE gene. So what's the problem with that? If you have all these different antibodies in the serum of patient, okay, the problem lies in cases wherein a classic Bombay patient is in need of blood transfusion. Okay, so meron siyang anti-H sa serum. Usually, we give specific blood type, type O. Alam mo, type O siya. Phenotypically, it's type O, but you do not know na classic Bombay siya. So, hahanap ka type O. Packed red cells kasi component lagi ang binibigay natin sa patient. So, you'll be looking for type of blood type, na packed red cells. And we all know that the usual O packed red cells, they have the H antigens. So you can see now that if you give a usual type O packed red cells to classic Bombay patient, and this patient have anti-H, you're going to have a positive cross-matching, meaning magkakaroon na agglutination process that you will observe during cross-matching procedures, basically because of the presence of anti-H. So may anti-H ang pasyente mo, yung donor, meron siyang H antigen sa red cells, you put them together, there's going to be an agglutination process. So it would be hard to transfuse such blood. So you'll be looking for the same, classic Bombay blood type O, okay, for you to be able to give it to your patient and refrain from having reaction. Para Bombay, on the other hand, ganun din, they have pwedeng little lang or no ABH expression on red cells, some with normal expression of ABH antigens in secretions and body fluids. So you would expect as well positive cross-matching procedures with Parabombay patients. Okay. What about the frequencies of these different ABO blood groups? No, for type O individuals, they're considered to be the most common among the population. No, so across the different races, no, you can see that sila yung mga pinakamarami, no? So type A individual comes next, type B third siya, and then type AB is the rarest type, no, ABO blood group, no, that we have in anywhere in the population, no. Okay, so we have here, I have mentioned this a while ago, how do we test for the ABO blood group? We have the forward typing, and we also have the reverse typing. No? For the forward typing, you know that we'll be needing the patient's red cells. So anong klaseng test tube ang gagamitin natin? Test tubes that have anticoagulants, no? Like now we're using EDTA, the lavender tap, no, test tube, because we want to make use of the red cells. So you'll be needing the patient's red cells because you want to determine what type of antigen is present on the red cells. And then in addition to the test setup, we have commercially prepared reagents, the anti-A and anti-B. These are antibodies to A antigen and B antigens. Okay. The reverse typing will be needing the patient's serum or plasma, no? And then what else do we need? The A and B red cells. There are commercially prepared A and B red cells, but we can also prepare it in the laboratory coming from blood of known type A and type B individuals. Okay. This time we'll be looking for the antibodies present on the patient's serum or plasma. So, pag serum ang gagamitin mo, what type of tube will you be using? You'll be using the red tap, no? Red tap test tube. Kung plasma, pwede yung EDTA, the one with anticoagulant, but of course you have to separate the red cells from it, no? Yung yellow top tube, yung merong gel separator, pwede rin yun, but we refrain from using that during ABO blood grouping because the component of the gel, no, might interfere with the blood typing. Okay, so these are the expected, no, reaction. Pag sinabi mong positive, there is presence of agglutination, no? These are the expected reaction when you do the blood typing. This is the blood type. The next two columns refers to the forward typing. The next two columns refers to the reverse blood typing. Okay, so we have here commercially prepared anti-A and anti-B, and then we have either commercially prepared or prepared in the laboratory A cells and B cells, known A and known B cells. No? So for blood type A patients, since meron silang A antigen, they would react with anti-A. No? A antigen against anti-A, you get to see a positive reaction. Since wala naman silang B antigen, no, they don't have reaction with anti-B. So this is the forward typing. Okay. On the other hand, if you get the serum or plasma of blood type A individuals, alam natin na ang blood type A individuals, they have the antibody to the missing antigen. So wala silang B antigen, kaya meron silang anti-B. Okay. Wala silang anti-A, and you react it with A cells that are supposed to be having A antigen, pareho lang, no? You don't get a reaction. But if you will react the serum, no, you allow the reaction of the serum or plasma of blood type A individuals with the B cells that have B antigens on the red cell surface, And then the serum or plasma of type A individuals, they have anti-B, you would expect to have a positive reaction. So the same thing holds true for the rest of the ABO blood group. Okay, so ang blood type O, they don't have A nor B antigen. You don't expect reaction in the forward typing. But since they have anti-B and anti-A, you would expect to see a positive reaction in both A cells and B cells. I always tell students not to memorize this. You just have to know what is present on the red cell surface and what is present in the serum or plasma of these different ABO blood groups. And you can go no wrong in plotting the reaction in this particular table. Kahit blank yan, pagka alam mo yung basic things about ABO blood group system, what is present on the red blood cells and in the serum or plasma, you'll be able to put in the type of reaction in this table. Okay, so these are the anti-sera that we use for forward typing. It's basically standard. Wherever you go, anti-A is always blue in color and anti-B is always yellow in color. So that's easy to recognize when you're doing blood typing. So with regards to reverse typing, pare-pareho lang yan kasi red cell suspension yan. Pwedeng commercially prepared like this one or prepared in the laboratory. So coming from blood and then you get the same color for everything. So what's the significance of that? Of course, you'll be able to see pagka forward typing, kahit wala ito, kahit walang label, you'll be able to recognize, ginamitan ng anti-A reagent. Ito ginamitan ng anti-B reagent, basically because of the color. But of course, we have to be very careful. We have to label everything in the laboratory. Label everything in the laboratory so as not for us to commit mistake. Okay, so these are the reactions that we observe. For type A individual, there's going to be an agglutination process. As you can see, this clump areas. These are red blood cells that have agglutinated, and homogeneous area if it is negative reaction. So for type A individuals, again, they have A antigen. You put in anti-A, there's going to be a positive reaction. Wala sa anti-B. For type B individuals, there is a positive reaction with anti-B, negative for anti-A. For type AB, both will have agglutination process. For type O, there's none, homogeneous pareho kasi wala silang anti-A nor anti-B. We are using the tube method. Previously, slide method ang ginagamit nila, but that has been abandoned. Now we're using the tube method or the gel method right now. So I'll be showing you an example. This is schematic diagram showing us the gel method. So you have here different areas that we have reagents on it. Etong first two, ito yung forward typing. Okay, the second one is the reverse, the RH rather, RH typing, and then we have a negative control, and then we have the reverse typing over here. So you put drops of blood on all these gel areas. You put drop of blood over here, and if it is trapped over there, an agglutination process has happened. So positive A antigen on your patient kasi nag-react siya sa anti-A. If it goes down, walang reaction. So negative for the anti-B reagent. So looking at this, anong magiging interpretation natin? It's gonna be blood type A using the forward typing, right? Kasi positive dito, negative. Sa RH naman, no, the same thing holds true. Meron ka dyan. Then you will interpret this as an RH positive individual. Okay, so we have a negative control just to see, no, that your setup is working properly. Then we have the reverse typing, no. So on this area is the A red cells, A1 kasi ito yung pinaka-common, no? Negative reaction, so meaning wala siyang anti-A, no, that would react to the A cell that is supposedly having A antigen on the red cell surface. And then it reacts with B cells, no, positive reaction. So kung i-interpret mo tong reverse typing, you are looking at a type A individual. So na-confirm yung forward typing na type A, and on reverse typing, you have type A individual, okay, and then RH positive, okay. This is an actual, no, an actual setup. So this time it is here. This is the forward typing. It went down, so negative ang reaction. Then you have it there, so +4, no? +4 positive kasi andun siya. Pag may mga reaction on this particular region, it's still interpreted as positive, no? Iba lang ang grading natin. Okay, and then we have an RH negative because it went down. So negative siya. Control, again, negative control. We have it there. And then for the reverse typing, we have positive reaction with A cell, no? And then we have a negative reaction with B cell. So meaning on forward typing, we are dealing with a type B individual, RH negative for RH typing. On reverse typing, it confirms the forward typing, wherein you get to see blood type B reaction, no? Because you have A antigen and anti-A interaction, no? Kasi type B ang individual natin. And the negative for the B cell reaction on reverse typing. Okay. Let's go to hemolytic disease of the newborn. No? So I've mentioned earlier, and we all know that IgG can cross the placenta. And we know that blood type O individuals, they have IgG, anti-A, and anti-B as well. Okay, so anong setup natin? The mother is blood type O, ABO blood type O, but the fetus is not type O. So we can observe this even with the first baby. It's a very common thing that we observe, no, at birth. And thankfully it's mild, very mild, no? So we have a blood type O mother, okay, who bears a non-type O baby. And of course, that is now the stimulation process for the IgG to be produced in the mother. So nag-produce siya ngayon na, halimbawa, type B yung baby niya, no? Siya type O, yung mommy. So the B antigen of the baby will stimulate the mother to produce anti-B. And IgG anti-B will be produced, and it can cross the placenta, and it can go to the baby, react with the blood of the baby, leading to certain degree of hemolysis, leading to jaundice or the yellowish discoloration of the skin of the baby, which can be treated by light, no, sunlight, as well as drop light or certain light that you give to the baby while inside the hospital, and the baby gets well because this is a mild condition. Okay, so just a little bit of commercial, no? So we have here a Japanese blood type personality. Sa Japan, they highly have high regard, no, to knowing the blood type of people, lalong-lalo na sa matching, no, sa marriage matching, as well as to dealing with other people. They were so into it that they have a lot of articles regarding this, and this is just one of them, no, one of these articles, no. So the Japanese blood type personality, we have here the best traits, no, for type A, and the other blood types, no, and the worst traits that individuals, depending on their blood type, have, no, has, no. So, like for me, I'm blood type B, sabi dito. My best trait is that we're wild and doer and cheerful. No, I don't know how true that is. No, and the worst trait is that we are selfish, irresponsible, and arrogant. No, um, look for yourself if these are really true with you. No, but then basically yung blood type B, I was surprised na ito yung hindi nila masyadong gustong blood type because the characteristic that are not really good, no. So I came across this particular movie. Medyo matagal na to. It's actually a Korean movie. It's not a Japanese movie, but they use that particular thing, no, sa plot ng movie, no. So yung boy is blood type B, and the girl is blood type A, and they have a not so good compatibility testing, no. But then, as I've been mentioning to the class that I have handled before, love conquers all. No, eventually at the end, no, they were able to accept one another, not looking on this different, characteristics that are plotted, no, against or pro the different blood types. Okay, so you might want to see this. Okay, it's available in the net. No, it's an older movie, but it's what's nice. No, it just caught my attention because, of course, um, I've been lecturing about this particular topic. Okay, now we go to the RH system. Okay, it follows autosomal dominant pattern, and there are a lot of antigens, no, with regards to the RH system, but the antigen is the most immunogenic. So since we are checking for ABO and RH typing, the three most immunogenic antigens that we encounter are A, B, and D antigens. So we are testing for these three antigens. No? So in our H system, as I mentioned, this is the most immunogenic. It is followed by small c, big E, big C, and small e. No, sunod-sunod dyan in the order of immunogenicity. Okay, so the gene RHD and RHC determines this different RH gene. Yung testing na ginagawa natin sa laboratory only determines the D antigen. No? So pag nag-positive, RH positive, it means that individual is positive for D antigen, but we do not know what are the positivity with regards to the other RH antigens. If there's a need to do that, then we can also check on that. But commonly, what we utilize in the lab is, of course, the testing for the D antigen. Pag sinabi mong RH negative, then there's no D antigen on that particular individual. Okay, so if we look at the hemolytic disease of the newborn, RH blood type naman, no, compared to ABO blood type, RH negative mother develops anti-D following exposure to the RH positive T cells of the fetus. No? So it is a pregnancy and childbirth serve as the immunizing event. No? Pwede rin pagka an individual was given an RH negative individual was given an RH positive blood, no, that could also be an immunizing event. But for pregnant women, no, who do not have previous blood transfusion, that's gonna be, no, the immunizing event, the pregnancy and childbirth. Okay, so we have here our RH negative mother, no, and then bearing an RH positive child. Of course, no, there's going to be stimulation on the part of the mother when she is exposed to the RH positive blood of the baby. She will develop antibodies, no, antibodies against the RH antigen, and it's not usually the reaction or the effect on the baby is not usually observed on the first baby kasi yung first pregnancy will be the stimulation process. So wala pa, no? So hindi mo usually nakikita siya, no, sa first baby, no? So we have here an RH negative mother with a fetus who is RH positive. And as I've mentioned, yung initial pregnancy is the immunizing event, and usually the second baby is the one affected. This is uncommon. However, we can have a severe condition known as hydrops fetalis, just like this baby had, no? So nowadays, we check for both the ABO blood group as well as RH blood group of the parents, not just the mother, no? So we check for the blood group of both the mother and the father so that we can have um, parang anticipation whether we will be dealing with a problem like this one, no? So kung alam mo na yung mother is RH negative and the father is RH positive, of course, no, you'll be able to anticipate, no, the occurrence of this particular problem. So it is the mandate of DOH to check for the ABO blood grouping as well as RH blood grouping of the parents, no, every time a pregnancy occurs. Okay, so moving on, let's look at the different test procedures, no, the principle behind the test procedures that we are utilizing in immunohematology. We have here hemagglutination as the basic principle. It occurs in two stages. Now, first, the RBC sensitization. So there's a combination of paratope and epitope, or combination of antibody and antigen. Okay, so na-sensitize ang RBC. And then secondly, no, for us to be able to see or demonstrate, no, the agglutination process, this second stage happens, no. The multiple RBCs with bound antibodies, no. So may antigen sila, tapos yung antibody magbabind dun sa antigen present on the red blood cells. There's going to be formation of a lattice work. Magdidikit-dikit, nagkakaroon ng antigen-antibody bridges formed between the red cells that are that have bound antibodies on them, and that's now the visible agglutination process that we see underneath the microscope or even grossly, no, pagtingin pa lang doon sa tube, no, the blood typing tube, or in certain cross-matching procedures, you'll be able to see the agglutination process pag merong pairing of antibodies and antigens. Okay, so if you look at this is under the microscope. There's no agglutination process here. Now you can see the red cells separately, okay, with some inflammatory cells, neutrophils on it. This is an example of agglutination. You see clumping of red blood cells. So it has undergone the second stage, no? So meron ng lattice work yan. Nag-combine na yung mga red blood cells with bound antibodies para sila mga Mickey Mouse, no? You must be able to differentiate this from Rouleau formation. Rouleau formation parang stack of red blood cells, no? Akala mo agglutination, pero it's not, no? So parang linear pattern lang na stack of red blood cells. That's not agglutination process. You must see something like this, no? 3D configuration of agglutination process, no? Red blood cells together, showing these different structures, no? Of red blood cells bound together. So this is an agglutination process. Okay, I remember one time, no, when I was a medtech intern, no, I was assigned at the blood bank, and I was the one doing the cross matching, and I had to have it checked by the medtech staff on duty. So I was in a government hospital during the time. Ano pa, nanggagaling pa sa mga commercial blood banks yung blood products that are being transfused in the patients, no? So I received the blood supposedly for a particular patient. So nilagay ko sa blood bank ref on the area wherein that is the area for the different blood types, no? Merong segregated areas for the different blood types. And then I had my dinner, and then after dinner I did the cross matching, no, without checking on the blood bag, no. So I got the specimen from the patient and did cross matching. I got the blood which I thought was the blood that was brought to the lab for that particular patient without checking on the label. So cross match, and then I did not bother to look underneath the microscope. I called the staff, medtech staff during that time. It was already parang early morning na, parang nagmamadali na rin ako kasi pagod na rin ako, no? When the medtech staff came to look at it, sumigaw talaga siya. Sinigaw niya yung pangalan ko. Sabi niya, Joyce, what did you do? No, parang ano. Tapos pinakita niya sa akin. Ito yung nakita ko, the right figure, no? Merong agglutination. So we discovered my mistake that I got the wrong blood for cross matching. It's not type specific for that particular patient, no? So that was a very big mistake. Pagka walang quality control, hindi na check, then we could kill a patient basically because of that. No? So from that time on, I was very careful. It was a big mistake, and it has been ingrained into my thoughts, into my being, you know, from that time on until now, that we always have to check labels. When you give medication to patient, you have to check the label of the medicine. When you do something on a patient, you extract blood, you have to be very definite that this is really the patient. So that's the lesson that I have learned from that situation. Okay, going back. So we have grading of hemagglutination. Hemolysis is the strongest positive reaction, no? So pag red na yung setup mo, there is hemolysis. Nasira na yung red blood cell because of membrane attack complex. No? Pagka nagkaroon ng reaction, nasisira na yung mga cells, nagkakaroon ka ng hemolysis. One solid aggregate is +4, and down the line, no? Kahit na maliliit na aggregates yan with a turbid background, +1 pa rin yan, positive reaction yan. So it has to be reported. Okay. We have another setup or test that we utilize in the lab, antiglobulin or Coombs test. This is antibody directed against, this is utilizing antibody directed against human immunoglobulin, IgG, no, AHD, we utilize that. So we have two types, no, the direct antiglobulin test or Coombs test, direct Coombs test, no, DAT. This time we are determining, no, the presence of antibody or complement molecules on the red blood cell surface. That is direct. Para siyang forward typing. No. It's like, tama, para siyang forward typing, pero this time we're looking for antibodies on the red cell surface. Kasi sa forward typing ng ABO, we are looking for antigens, right? This time we are looking for antibodies, okay, on the red cell surface. For indirect antiglobulin tests or IDATA or indirect Coombs test, no? We are detecting the presence of antibodies in serum. Parang kapareho siya ng reverse typing. So we're looking for antibodies. Okay, this is the setup for the Rett Coombs test. Now, a very good example is in immune-mediated hemolytic anemia. We know in these cases na merong mga antibodies that are already on the red cell surface attached to the antigens, no, on the red cell surface. So meron siya kasi immune-mediated hemolytic anemia. So what we do is collect blood from this patient. We'll be needing the red cell of the patient, no, with that one. Gusto nating i-prove, meron ba talagang antibodies sa red cell surface, no? So dadagdagan natin ang Coombs reagent, no, the anti-human antibodies sa setup. So you have the blood coming from the patient with red blood cells on it. You add the Coombs reagent or the anti-human antibodies, and this will now serve as a bridge between these red cells with antibodies attached to them already, forming this agglutination, no, that you get to see underneath the microscope. So it's a positive direct Coombs test or direct antiglobulin test. It will only prove that there is really presence of antibodies, no, on the red cell surface. So napoprove natin. That's a positive reaction. Now, let's look at indirect Coombs test or indirect antiglobulin test. Okay, what we need is the serum of an individual. So we know that in the serum, this is where we get to see the antibodies. Okay, so gusto nating i-prove meron bang antibodies. We're utilizing this procedure in cross-matching, no? So we want to see whether the cells of the donor, no, will react with the antibodies that are present on the serum of the patient, in the serum of the patient. No? So, naisip natin, meron bang antibody against these red cells that I'll be transfusing to my patient, no? So, you get the blood of the patient, separate the serum or the plasma, that's the one that you will be using, and then you add the donor's red cell. Okay. Pag match yung antigen at saka antibody, magko-connect yan, no? And then you put in the anti-human globulin, then this would result to a positive reaction. So kung positive siya, ibig sabihin, may antibodies dyan. Hindi mo pwede ibigay ang red cell na yan coming from the donor because you would have an agglutination process inside. Okay, so that's basically indirect Coombs test. Merong maraming application ito, no? But we will not tackle on that. It's enough for us to know the principle behind. Okay. What about the other blood group system? No? So marami pang iba aside from this, no? More than 20s na other blood group systems. Anong significance nito? We have patients who are multiple transfused patient, no? Like yung mga dialysis patient natin, mga hematology patients who have leukemia, for example, they are exposed to a lot of blood group system which are different from what they have, no? So, ano nangyayari doon? Type specific with regards to ABO and RH, yes, because that's the one that we check on. Pero the other blood group system are not always checked, of course, no? Only if there's a need to, pagka nagkaroon ng positive reaction, no? With ABO-RH specific blood na tinatransfuse natin. No? So these are the most common blood group system that has problem with regards to that. No? So mga multiple transfused patient, they develop antibodies, no, to this different blood group system. And that's the one that would react to kasi kung may antibodies na sila, meron sila na-develop na antibodies, bibigyan mo ng type specific with a different, no, other blood group system type, no, nagkakaroon ng cross-matching reaction, no? So, positive ngayon yung cross-match mo. And then you would have to check for the presence of antibodies. So, sa laboratory, we're doing antibody screening as well. Pag nag-request kayo ng type and cross-match, for example, we do antibody screening to check on the presence of antibodies to this different. Pagka nag-positive yan, we will send it to a referral institute, no, or hospital for the identification of the antibodies. No? So you will be discussing this in the next week. So the importance would be it may cause transfusion reaction, it may interfere with cross-matching, and this is for also can be utilized for medical legal parentage problems. Okay, so that's it. That's basically all about immunohematology. Okay, thank you.